So in this series, we are going to do Linux command prompt. So this is Ubuntu, and on Ubuntu Linux, you have Genome Terminal, which comes installed by default. So you can launch by typing that. You press Alt F2, which gives you run command, and then you can type Genome Terminal, which is part of my history, and then you can launch this Genome Terminal, which is an interface to Bash shell. Now, you would ask, why should I learn command prompt? Or why Linux is useful. So Linux is way more secure operating system, and if you're a programmer, then you would definitely encounter Linux at some point of time in your programming life, unless you are solely programming on .NET technologies, and then you will stick to Windows. Now the real power is in command prompt. So this is an absolute beginner's guide. In this video, I'm going to explore few commands. So some of the basic commands are ls. Ls lists a directory. Then you have got copy, which can copy a file or directory. You have got mv, which is used to move or rename. You have rm, which removes a file. You have mkdir, which creates a directory. So I'll be showing a lot of commands which help you become a pro at Linux. So we start with the ls. ls is a very simple command which lists files of a directory. Now, one of the things which Linux has is a lot of documentation comes pre-installed for the commands. For example, man ls. Now, this will list you all the possible options for list. Now, you see there are two formats of this. One is a small switch that is with a single minus a, and one is the long form, which is minus minus all. So I'll go with some of the options which are important, and rest I will leave to you. So let's get started. Man command shows the manual page. Once again, to reiterate, this is a manual page. Now, so ls, if you type ls and hit enter, and then it shows you the files and directories. So these blue guys are directories, white guys are files, and these purple ones are media, photos and images. Compressed ones are red. Now, how do you find out which is which? So there's a form called long listing, ls minus l. Now, if you see this, there is a lot of information here, which I'll slowly go into this. So the first uh, column tells you what type of file it is and what are the permissions associated with that particular file or directory. All right. This is important because this is the owner. This column is the group. This is the directory size or file size. This is the last access date or time, and this is the actual file name. I do not remember what this second column is about. Anyway, we'll find out. I'll tell you probably in next video what the second column of ls command is. Now, there are actually more files and directories than ls shows. In Linux, the naming convention demands that anything which starts with a dot is a hidden file or directory. For example, ls-a, if you do, then you will see a lot of hidden files. For example, Adobe has created a dot Adobe, AnyDesk has dot AnyDesk, CodeLight has created dot CodeLight, and Capstan has created dot Capstan. So there are a lot of dot uh, directories. For example, Firefox and Thunderbird will create .mozilla, GNOME Emplayer will create .emplayer, and so on. So it's very important. For example, there'll be a vimrc file or viminfo. So viminfo is there for VI editor. So ls-a shows you all files, including hidden file and folders. Now, two are of particular interest. One is a dot and another is double dot. Dot means it is current directory, and double dot refers to the parent directory of the current directory. On Ubuntu, your home directory is almost always /home /username. Slash is the directory path separator. Now we have seen ls, we have seen ls minus a, and we have seen ls minus l. Now you can combine a and l. You can say ls space minus a l. So it will be long listing with all. Okay. These guys are symbolic links. So I'll go into permissions later and file types later. We first explore the ls command. Now, if you want to show the long listing in reverse order of time, then your sorting is ls space minus lrt, l for long listing, r for reverse, and t for sorting on the basis of time. So you see the newest files are at the bottom. This is the video which is getting recorded right now. Now, to repeat, if you want to sort on the basis of time, it is ls minus lt. So when it will sort, the newest will be at top. You give R to reverse it. Now these file sizes are not convenient to read. Okay, it is hard to read this. So there is a long listing form with human readable format. So this will tell you, you can combine it with RT. So this will tell that, okay, my video right now is 17 MB. So most of the directories will have 4K size unless it's a very big directory. M is for megabytes, K is for kilobytes, and G will be for gigabytes. Probably T for terabytes. I don't remember because I have not seen a file of terabyte size yet. Single file of terabytes. Okay, so to repeat it, ls minus lrt h. Okay, now if you want to sort it by size, then you give ls minus l capital S. So now these are sorted by size. So the largest file is at the top. If you want to reverse, then you say ls minus lsr. R is for reversal of the sorting order. So if you see man page of A, then it says, okay, A is for do not ignore entries starting with the dot. That is show the hidden files. If you say minus capital A, then it does not show the dot and dot dot. And author is not very important. The other important ones are, which I have shown, is minus L, right? Minus L is use a long listing format. I have shown R. R is very important because it controls the sorting order, either in an increasing order or decreasing order. So reverse order while sorting. There is a capital R, not very useful, but we will go into this. I used minus capital S. So this is capital S. It shows largest first. Okay, now I'll show you some more important ones. For example, ls minus 1. So what it does is it prints the file names and directories in one column. It can be very useful when you're doing shell programming where you want to get the list of file names separated by new line. You can also say -1a. That will list the file names with the dot also. Let's see more important switches of ls command. Minus minus color is needed. Color is here. So color is needed when you don't have color enabled by default, but on Ubuntu it is enabled by default. On most modern Linux systems, it is enabled by default. Let's see what would be more important. Classify is not important on modern ones. Ah, so this is important. ls minus c. Now C time is change time. For example, ls minus lc, if we do, then you see, and we sort it in reverse order, then you see that C time is different for all these. For example, the currently recorded videos is no longer at its time because these are access times. These are not C times. Okay. So now we see another another option which is important. Um, One of the most important ones is minus n. Okay, what it does is ls minus ln. So you see this user and this owner. We will go into sorry, user and group. So this is the numeric ID of user and this is the numeric ID of group. So once again, I'll show you this. So you see, this is the user. You can get the entry in etc password. So if you do cat etc password, I should be there with an ID 1000. I am here. You see, 1000. And if you want to see my group, then it should be there. I can actually grep that. We will see cat and grep commands later on. So yes, this is 1002. So these are the most common ls command options. To repeat again, I'll go into those. Minus a tells you all the hidden file and directories. L gives you long listing. T sorts it by time. R reverses the sorting order. H gives you human readable format. N prints the UID and GID in numeric manner. Minus 1 prints it in one column. So that's quite a lot of switches we have covered about ls command. Let's see if there is any more important one. Um, okay, I don't. I can be important, but that is for advanced users. And no, I have never used anything else, mostly because I think that's it. I can show you ls minus l capital R, which lists the directories recursively. Let me select a directory. So I'm in directory ls now. You can see my present working directory has become home shiv ls. Pwd gives you present working directory. So let's say I can create another directory X, I create another directory Y, and I create a file X slash X, and I create another file Y slash ZX and Y slash ZY. Now, if you want do ls minus lr, then you see what happens is it recursively goes into all the directories and lists them. Uh, so minus L is for long listing. If you disable this, this is what is the output. So this tells you this is the current directory. Dot and colon is an indicator or a field separator. It shows you two directories here, which are here. And then in dot slash x, you have a file x. And in dot slash y, you have two files y. So that is the minus r, capital R option. Um, let's see if there are more interesting ones. F can be interesting, and huh, I don't think there is any important. You can read this man file yourself, but I think that should cover the basics of ls command. Once you will become an advanced user, you will know how to read this man page and use it. But I would say that the options which I have described will cover your 99% of day-to-day uses of ls command. So I'll end this video here, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and keep watching. There are more videos on the way. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Bye.